Good afternoon. My name is Patrick Finnegan, and I am the co-founder and CEO of WorldState. Today, I'm going to tell you how we are reimagining the consumption of news for everyone. But first, I want to tell a story. A long, long time ago, there was something so powerful, yet so simple, called the newspaper. I wasn't around, but I know people enjoyed it. People enjoyed reading the newspaper because they were able to read it cover to cover every morning with their beverage of choice and feel caught up on the last 24 hours of news. They had a firm understanding and context around the issues that mattered to them from one source. Unfortunately, though, things aren't so simple anymore. We find ourselves going to mainstream media like USA Today, and in an effort to always be first, they're pushing headlines. Next thing you know, a few hours later, the headlines shifted to the bottom of the page. Stories that you actually care about are hard to follow. But even worse, you're no longer guaranteed the needed context and understanding to understand the nuances of each narrative. It's painful. But when you go to a site like CNN or Vox, a site that claims they understand the millennials, and you're populated with a $33,000 ad for a Mercedes-Benz that has no relevance to what you are going to that site for, meaning you're trying to get informed, it's terrible. It's frustrating. And there's so many great news sources. I read Mike, I read Wired, I read Elite Daily. It's so hard to keep track of all the stories because your interests span across all these different sources. But lastly, for those of you who did read the newspaper and sat down at breakfast and read it, you don't have the time, let alone to sit down. It's overwhelming. It's too much. And yes, there are sites and apps coming out like Circa and Vox, again, that think they're going to re-engage by giving easily digestible content. But they haven't really solved the puzzle. They've either skewed on the side of no context and very short summaries, or way too long of a summary for a millennial to even engage. So it seems really bad. But this is room for us to do better at WorldState, and we firmly believe it. About a month and a half ago, we launched a newsletter trying to begin the conversation with our future audience. The responses were amazing. 2,000 subscribers and constant feedback. It wasn't a one-way conversation, it was a two-way conversation, and we were taking their feedback and we were iterating on it and we were implementing it, making sure we were building a product that we didn't just like, but that everyone else liked and would use. This is just the beginning, though. To build something scalable, you need to integrate things like artificial intelligence, and that is exactly what we are doing. IBM Watson and Alchemy API, two powerful technologies, are being leveraged by us to make sure we extract the needed context from the great sources out there. And then to make sure it's visually appealing and that the content informs you, we package it over through our editorial team. They package and edit it, and there you go. We also understand that your interests are all different. I like tech. You might like sports. You might like stocks. You might be a VC and want to follow Product Hunt. Who knows? But we get that, and everyone has different interests. And WorldState is about the things that you care about and that matter to you. It's not about a generation. It's about you. The team is ready to do this. 2 years ago, while in boarding school, I built a startup from the ground up, and it was profitable within 6 months. My first client was pro bono. My third client was pro bono. But I hustled to the point where I understood how to build a company and have a team. My co-founder, Lisa Jakes, understands what people want in editorial. Working at NYU, serving on several publications, and publishing many articles. But our technical team, Nick Ferraro, working at Salesforce, and Colby Elliott, previously at a Pi startup, Cloudability, understands how to build a scalable application that will acquire users. We don't just have a strong team. We have advisors from Pi, Greycroft, Sidley, AT&T, the Teal Network, who are committed to helping us. They're going to help us reach those deadlines, raise the needed seed capital to scale this startup, and get this startup off the ground. My ask today is simple and immediate. Most of you have those things that my good friend Julie said, smartphones, those amazing devices. Pull those out, go to worldstateapp.com, enter in your email, and we'll begin talking soon. This is the beginning of a conversation, and you guys are all part of it. Every one of you is an integral part of it. I really appreciate Pi, White & Kennedy, and everyone else. Thank you so much.